Hello, welcome back to the Frayed Brush. I'm Big Aaron. It's been a while since we've had a video uploaded. I went to upload one, let me see, I guess this past Saturday. Yeah, this past Saturday. And for some reason, the video got saved to a different format that the program I used didn't recognize. So when I went to upload it, it was black screen and nothing but audio. So we're gonna try it again. So last time we saw the Shieldmaiden, she was kind of green, she was kind of brown, and she was kind of magenta, okay? Turned out to be a pretty big disaster, so we're gonna have to work on that Verdaccio a little bit. So what I've done, I said before, I promised I wouldn't strip her, we'd just go with what we had, and hard habits break, but I've gone back and I've just completely rebase coated her with some beige red from Vallejo. And this time to work on it, we're gonna use the beige red from Vallejo, and we're also gonna use the white from K Colors put out by Chimera. And we're gonna use the carbon black, the K Colors from Chimera. I've heard and read that they put out a new black that's supposed to be, I think, better coverage, not 100% sure. The way the Chimera colors are designed is they are single pigment paints. I'll go ahead and pull some of these out. I don't know how many we'll be able to fit on the camera. So, single pigment paint, of course, if you don't know, is a paint that just has a single color in it. So, let's see here. So like the red, okay? Actually, maybe let's start with the white. Okay, here we go. So this is white. And there's all kinds of different whites out there. Like I'm looking at a spectral white. I've got a peppermint white, dragon white. That's all I can see right now through the lamps and phone stand and everything. But a lot of times white will have just enough of a tint to it to adjust it just a little bit, and it won't actually be pure white. So this is a miniature paint brand, okay? It's a acrylic, and there's nothing added to this white to make it except for white. So this is Chimera. Now, this was a Liquitex heavy body artist acrylic. This comes out like a paste. Not like a paste. It's thicker than regular acrylic paint though. And we'll put some on the wet palette here in a little bit. But as you can see, the only pigment used in this is PW6. Do I know what it stands for? Nope. But I know it's one pigment. And as you can see, the white from Chimera, PW6. And then this stuff goes into, I think, light fastness and coverage. So the solid black square means that it's opaque. Pretty sure. Oh, yep, there we go. Oh, look at that. I was right. Directions on the back. Black square is opaque. Little sun looking things. Light fastness. And series, I don't know. I don't know what series is. But hey. So I see a lot of people using the heavy body acrylics for their solid whites. Ben Coleman's is a big one for his loaded brush technique. I think he uses a brand called Schminky. I've looked for it before because he uses it. You know, I feel like I need to have it, but no luck yet. But this is a Liquitex, and it is the titanium white. So we'll be using that for our white. And let me scoot the rest of these out of the way. And we'll be using the carbon black, and you can hear, usually, there we go. Chimera's even good enough to put a little mixing ball in there for us. So good on you, Chimera. Thanks for the help. And then we're gonna be using our beige red from Vallejo. Vallejo's a little bit thicker, so I think I actually have like 2 or 3 mixing balls in here. It's probably almost the point I got more mixing balls than paint, but anyway. So too thick, can't hear it. Try thinned it, didn't work. So we'll go with what we got. So that's what we're working with today. Let's pull out the wet palette here. Like I said in the last Road to ReaperCon video where we started the Shieldmaiden, I think I said it anyway, I was gonna try to go this whole model with wet palette. So there's my Masterson's Stay Wet Handy Palette. And I don't know if you can see in there, you can kind of see the writing. I use Reynolds Wrap parchment paper. I like it, it's got the little guidelines, so you can cut it to fit. So if you never used a wet palette before, or if you've got questions about it, leave a comment down below, and I will see what I can do to answer. Also, if you're enjoying the video so far, be sure to throw a thumbs up, give me that like, give me a subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you know the next time the Frayed Brush puts out a video. So let me get a paper towel here and we'll see about getting started. I feel like it's been like a month since I painted. I had like, I'm retired Army, 4 sons that are in the military, 2 Army, a Navy, and Air Force. And one of the Army sons is getting ready to go to Korea and actually left for Korea today. And then Navy son got married last week. So congratulations, tall boy. He doesn't watch my videos, so I'm sure he'll never see that congratulations, but we'll see what happens. Miracles do happen every once in a while. All right, so we started off with the base color of the beige red, and we want to work off that. So let's get a little bit of that down. Just a little bit. We don't need too much. And then we wanted to go with the titanium white. And here's what I was talking about. It's like a paste. It comes out kind of like that, all right? So it's not liquidy like the other paints are. And then had these chimeras for a while. Tried shaking them up real good. Not sure what's gonna happen. Look kind of messy in there, but we want a little bit of black. All right, so there's our black. And this is pure black. Again, PBK 7, okay? That means it's pure pigment. If it had another series of letters and numbers there, then that means it would be more than one pigment that made up this black. So, and another thing about the chimeras, they dry extremely matte. So, I'm not sure if you'll ever have to do anything to maybe get a satin finish to it or anything like that. I know figure painting and miniature painting, stuff like that, there's very few instances where you want gloss. Excuse me. So it's a good thing that they are matte. So what we want to do, we got our base tone down. So this video, I think we're going to work on some of the shadows. We'll hit highlights later. I don't know if I'll do a highlight on the video. I'm kind of ready to move on past the skin tones. So we'll show a little bit of shadow, and then next time you see Shieldmaiden, the skin might be complete. Maybe do some eyeballs or something. I don't know if I'm good enough to do eyeballs on camera, but we'll see. So we want to take a little bit of our skin tone. Get it on there, swish it around real good. Clean off the paintbrush so we don't contaminate the black. And we're just gonna take a touch of black. Start out real light. And you can see how black just kind of took over that whole thing. So let's get a little bit more skin tone in there. We don't want it to be too dark, but we don't want it to match the base tone either, because we want to be able to tell it's a shadow. Okay, that might be good. So this video will mainly work over the placement of the shadows. I would like to think it's fairly common knowledge, but in case it's not, I'll give an explanation. You know, you've got your base tone over the whole thing. You want to put your shadows in the lowest recesses, and you'll want your highlights on the highest areas. And you'll work through the different gradients of your flesh tone to make it to where it transitions from shadow to base to highlight. So get in here, get some of this. Like I said, don't use a wet palette very often, so it's learning experience for everybody. And then we'll want to start placing this down in the shadow areas. So see, you got a little bit of shadow there. There's what an untouched side looks like. There's the shadow side. And I'm a brush licker, so if you want to, you can kind of, you know, lick your brush to clean the paint off and kind of go in there like that, smooth it out. And I think it's because it's still wet. It looks like it's pretty separated on there, but we'll see how it dries. It's not that stark of a contrast in person. So now we know under her chin is going to be in shadow. So go ahead and get that. Again, we'll smooth it out a little bit there. And then, depending on how long the video goes, maybe we'll throw some, a couple of highlights in there to kind of show where it's going. Get that off the chin. We'll end up covering that up with a highlight anyway. And you can tell we're already getting some good shadows in there. We'll have to refine them a little bit, of course. But so far, so good. We'll get in here around the inside of the eyes. Because those are going to be in deep shadow. Yeah, it's picking it up a little bit. And then I think based off of the light direction kind of being straight on, I don't think underneath her hair here is going to create too much of a shadow on her forehead. Probably not at all. So we'll go and we'll put a little bit of shadow on this side just to see how we like it. Smooth it out a little bit. Kind of trim her face down just a little bit. I don't think that looks too bad. You can see in her neck muscles and stuff here, so I'll go ahead and get that a little bit. Just get a little bit more definition. And then we want to stay off that high point. Because that's where our highlight's gonna go. I don't think that looks too bad, actually. Looking good so far. Let's see. A little bit along, maybe down here where her hair rests against, it's not necessarily a paint by number, but looking at the reflection from the light that's actually here at the painting table, it kind of picks out where the shadows go for you. You just deepen them a little bit, and then hopefully get them blended good. So put a little bit more here because it's a little patchy. Look good. Good solid coverage. Yeah, that's looking better. It's looking better. Cool. And then we'll go to the other side a little bit just to even it out. Again, clean off your paintbrush. Smooth those edges out a little bit. And then anywhere it gets to, we don't want to get to the point where it looks like she's got a 5 o'clock shadow. But wow, that one came out there a little bit. Well, another thing we can do is, this gets into, I guess, feathering. So we'll take a little bit of this and kind of make a mid-tone between the base tone and the shadow color. Yeah, it looks like it might work okay. So right now we're lighter than our shadow, darker than our base tone, base color. And what I do is get the brush loaded up good here, and I don't know if we can, is that gonna work? Oh, that's not too bad. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go along the edge here and make little bitty brush strokes to try and blend in the edge between that base tone and that shadow. Smooth it out a little bit. It's not looking too bad. That's crazy. It almost looks like a 3D sculpt with the straight flesh color. You can see there along the edge here, got pretty kind of rough. So I'll go ahead and try to smooth that out some. Ooh, off camera the whole time. All right. And then we clean off our brush and on there really smooth that out in case we got any brush strokes showing. Yeah. And then we can take our, excuse me, take our shadow color and kind of come in on the side of the noses here. Side of the nose. And touch it in just a little bit. Got a little crazy down here. Let that cleaned off. And you can tell the difference between the shadow work on this side and this side. This side looks a little bit deeper, which is good because we can actually tell what tell the work we're doing. So now we'll go back to the other side and do it on this side. Get down there by our nostril a little bit. A bit of shadow in there. And then we're gonna look at our paint brush. Go in there and smooth that out. And you can go back in and, you know, smooth and refine and everything as much as you need to. So this, over here in this cheek, kind of got away from me a little bit. So we'll go back in with a little bit of our base tone and just kind of touch up where we got kind of out of control with it. Because we don't want to get to the point that we got shadow running into where highlight should be. And clean the brush, go back in, smooth out those edges. And we'll back it out a little bit. Okay. You can tell where we cleaned it up a little bit, got rid of that stray line that was going around. Other places we're going to want our shadow color is underneath the bottom lip here. Some of that in there. Again, smooth it out. And we'll go ahead and touch up where we got it up on the chin a little bit. Nothing's been done to the chin yet except for a base color. So, nothing to worry about going in there and getting in there. Smooth it out. And then usually where the temple is at, it usually your head dips in a little bit, so it does create a little bit of a shadow. So what we'll do, we'll go with some of this lighter, so just get a touch of water in there. We'll go in there with this lighter, the color between the shadow and the base, and kind of just touch on that temple a little bit. We don't want it to be like dark and shadow, but we want to show there's a depression there. And you can see it a little bit, it's not very pronounced. So we can go ahead, we'll try to get a couple of the highlights on. I think that'll be it for this video, but you don't want a lot of white. Not yet, so just grab a touch of white, and that's actually probably too much maybe. So this will be the first of our highlight colors. We'll be doing multiple passes of highlights. I don't know if there's any way to get rid of the reflection, really. Doesn't look like it. Desk is too lit up. But what we'll do, I think the easiest places to tell it is going to be under the eyes and the nose, as far as being able to notice it on camera goes. So we'll go ahead and take this lighter color that we just made, and we'll put it underneath the eyes. I shouldn't have glued the arms on yet, but hindsight's 20/20. We'll go ahead and get a little bit of highlight in there. Clean your brush and go in there and kind of smooth it out. And if we make our highlight too big, it's too easy to go back in there and reclaim some of the space with our base color. And we're gonna want to go down the bridge of the nose, hit those nostrils a little bit. Especially this one. got kind of crazy with the shadow color. And you want to have a good bit of contrast. That's what that's called the squint test, right? And basically it's where you go in, you throw all your colors in there, your shades, your base tones, and your highlights. You don't necessarily worry about blending yet, but you get everything kind of where you think it should go. Then you literally look at your model and squint. Once you squint, because of the narrowed field of vision you have, basically, it kind of blurs everything. So if it looks good through the squint test, then you kind of know you're on your way to the right thing. So now for this, let's go ahead and do this other side real quick. Get some on there. It looks really contrasty in person while it's wet, but then once it dries, it's blending in almost a little too well. I was worried about having to really clean up the edges, but you can barely tell the edges. So let's go ahead, we'll hit up this channel a little bit. That blended in a little bit so we don't have those rough edges. And we'll see how that goes. So let's go ahead. I said I was just going to do the eyes and the nose, but I got a little bit of this forehead because the light source is direct facing. Look in there, clean off your paintbrush. You kind of feather out these edges a little bit. Kind of blend it in so it's not such a hard line that you leave with the paintbrush. That's a little bit. It's easier to see in person what's been done than on the camera. So back in there with our base color a little bit. This nose got kind of out of control. Go along the edge of that highlight we did. I'll smooth that out a little bit. All right. Let's see if I can adjust the colors on the camera any whatsoever. See if I can come up with that, or not come up with that, but see how to make it look better on camera, because it looks like a lot of work's been done in person, but I think just the reflection through the camera is just not able to pick it up, because these aren't very contrasting colors that we're using, so the differences in them is kind of hard to pick up if you're not looking at it with the naked eye. Okay, so that's going to be it for this one. The next time you see the Shieldmaiden, there's probably going to be some more done on her. I might go ahead and base coat the hair, and just please, if you're doing blonde hair, don't use yellow. Just a little foreshadowing on what the next video is going to be. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you did, hit that like button, go ahead and subscribe, and hit that bell icon notification so you know when another video is put out. Again, this is the Fray Brush. I'm Big Aaron, and we hope to see you again. Remember, Big Aaron sent you.